Hello everyone, here is a video showing you how to create a bootable flash drive using a software called Rufus on Windows 10. So what I have here is I have my ISO file right here. I'm going to be putting this onto this flash drive down there, which is aptly named flash drive. So what we're going to be doing is, as I said earlier, using this software called Rufus. You can get Rufus from its website here. And what it is it's what formats the flash drives for you to be used to be bootable. You can find its download link farther down here. You can either get the normal version or the portable version, or then even look up some older versions if you please. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up that software, which is going to prompt us for administrator privileges. My great background. Yes. Alright, should be popping up. Here we are. So this automatically detected my flash drive, but it has a little drop down list here for you to select which drive you want. And then what you want to do is select what you want. I'm selecting that I want a disk or ISO image. And you have to then select the image you want with this option. This should put up a little file explorer thing to select the ISO file. Sorry, my computer is a bit slow, so it'll take a moment for that to register. Oh, goody. I'll just let that do its thing for a bit. And a little more. Here we go. I believe that's just my machine where that issue is happening. All right. Here we go. We're in downloads. Go to my folder that I created for this, just to make it easier to find what I want. And then I select it, and then I hit open. And then there are also some ISO files that do not work with Rufus, though, that can't be made bootable on a flash drive. Some of those you just plain have to burn onto a disk. Alright, so proper scheme, BIOS, and there's the name. You want it to be FAT32. Cluster size is that by default. And it says ready, and so we just click start, hit OK. And then you hit OK again. And then it's starting to format the drive. And it should be writing the files to the flash drive as well. Yep, there's its little progress bar it has there. So you can see progress happening. There. Then it gets into more specifics. I like seeing this stuff because it's interesting. Like formatting the FAT32, creating file system tasks, installing that's specific to my ISO, copying the files. I don't believe I took a very large ISO file. This one is, oh no, it's 1.9 gigabytes about. Alright. Depending on the size of the ISO, though, the duration of how long this takes can vary. So it's kind of on like an individual basis. But it's not too long. As you can see at this point, it's progressing rather quickly. Until you mention it by name. So this just has a bit more to go through it. It just does the thing automated, so you just have to select the initial settings and it does everything for you. So you just have to sit back and wait. And it just has that one little bit more to go. Almost. Just got that one small piece now. But all in all, this process does not seem like it's too long. Again, I've only ever used smaller ISO files. By smaller, I mean like around 2 gigabytes. But I assume that if you use a larger ISO file, like if you wanted to write Windows 10 or something to a bootable flash drive, if that's possible, it might take a substantially longer amount of time. Yeah. And again, while we're waiting, usually you want to go with the default options when selecting things. Usually what you do mess with is you can select the device that you want to write it to, select the ISO file, usually by using the select option here, and from there it's usually just leaving things on default. But I usually have it as FAT32, MBR, BIOS, or UEFI, and then the default cluster size. And then again, if you want to, you can mess around with the name, but I also usually leave that as default. I don't really see a reason to change the name. I'm not picky. But yeah, what's handy about the Rufus tool though is its size. It is a relatively small application, so it doesn't have any like bloatware or anything. So it's nice and small, so you can just keep that on there without having to worry about uninstalling it because it's taking up too much space. Looking at this application there. Bloatware. And again, a lot of this process is just waiting. We're approaching the 9.5-minute mark. So this is just recording the whole thing, so you can see that it's as easy as just selecting the options and hitting start. This is to show that there's nothing that I'm doing in the meantime, changing anything up, just for like ease of mind. Alright, I'll talk about how to boot from your drive after this. It usually changes from what computer you want to use, but you want to go into the BIOS and change the boot order. That way you're booting from your external device first rather than from your hard drive. Because if you boot from your hard drive first, you're just going to boot your normal operating system. And yeah, after you change those settings, you should be good to go. And then from the bootable drive, you're able to either like test out the operating system or install it. And from there, you can also choose if you want to keep your old partition. That way you can have potentially like a Windows partition and a Linux partition if you wanted to go a route like there, or you can choose to overwrite it. All right, and from here, it seems like we have finished. So if we were to check this now, my flash drive on the side is now named Ubuntu Mate, and it has all the files associated with that. And now it should be good to be booted from. Should I please? And so yeah, that's how you create a bootable flash drive using the software tool Rufus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.